All right, here we are, 4.2. This is the slope of a line. So the slope m of a line is a ratio of the change in y to the change in x between any 2 points. We'll talk about this more later, but these are called x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So slope, it's going to be the ratio. So we are, almost always going to write this as a fraction. So ratio is another word for fraction. And we are almost always going to write our slopes as a fraction. So when we said we're going to use m, so we're going to write m equals, and it's the difference in we talked about the rise or the run. Okay, so you can see here's the rise is the up and down, the run is the left and right. We'll talk more about coordinates on a different video. So if you look at this, you always read a line like you would read a book. You read left to right. So this one definitely rises from left to right, it's going up. This one falls or goes down from left to right, and that is super important. So down here, the first thing it says is describe the slope of the line. So in describing, we would look at that and we say that it rises from left to right. So that is going to be a positive slope. Where this one, if we look left to right, it definitely falls. So that is going to be a negative slope. Okay, and then as far as actually calculating it, notice that they have drawn what we call a slope triangle. They have drawn it kind of over and below the line. They also could have drawn it up here. The important thing is that there is a right angle in your slope triangle. So you can make it underneath like this, or you can make it on top if it's not already there for you. Slope is always m. So go ahead and here write m equals rise over run. And then we're going to count. They've already counted it for us. This has a 5. But you're just counting squares. So here's how you would count if they hadn't done it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares up and down between this point and that point. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares going left and right. So the rise difference was 5. The run is 6. That's a ratio or a fraction, so we're finished. Okay, we do the same thing on this one, although we have to make sure and include the negative. So again, slope is always rise over run. The rise, the up and down difference here, they've got it labeled as a -3. I would suggest you always put the negative with the numerator. If it goes out front, it sometimes gets lost. And when you say the slope, you want to say the word negative first, so it's good to put it with the numerator. The run, or the back and forth, is the 2. So -3 over 2. Totally fine that that is improper. All right, flip the page. All right, so I'm going to get you started here on these on your own. These don't have a slope triangle. So we're going to draw a right triangle, and it can be either under here, or I'm going to use a different color. It could be up here. Doesn't matter. So it's going to be that gray one or that red one. Doesn't matter as long as it's at a right angle. So we use that to count your slope and write down under each of these to remind yourself that this is rise over run. Do the same thing and notice that this one's falling, so be careful with that. This one's rising. Make yourself a slope triangle. We'll be looking for that either above or below. Same with this. Make yourself a slope triangle on this side or on this side and count. And then I'm going to have you copy down some things here at the bottom and then watch another video. So copy these. Okay, we're going to write down what this slope is. You'll know this by the time you watch this other video. And we'll write that on here. Watch slope dude. Okay, so you're going to watch slope dude. I'll post that on Classroom. So you're just going to watch slope dude. It's just a silly video to help you remember about slope. write this part down before you end this video so it's ready to go for tomorrow, and we'll talk more about that with you tomorrow, what HOI and VUX, those acronyms are. That's it for today.